Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Unscripted Transformation. And here I'm your host, Peace Ogu. And you remember our co-host, right? Mr. Wale, or you can say aka Pastor Wale. And we have an amazing guest here. You guys' favorites, you guys' relationship coach. You guys love staying on his page day and night. He sees you. We all see you. But anyways, let's formally introduce our amazing guest here today. Mr. Ibukun, formerly known or popularly known as Preacher of Love.
Thank you for that introduction. It's good to be here.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Ibukun, can you introduce yourself?
How do you want to introduce myself? Okay.
People just see you as the relationship.
just say it in a way that you want them to know you.
Yes.
Okay.
When people think you're single, when people think you're married, when people think you're in a relationship, when people know you as a relationship coach. So do you do it professionally? Are you a relationship coach or what exactly?
So I think thank you once again for having me here.
Mhm.
And, first of all, I'm not a relationship coach. I believe a relationship coach should be trained and certified. I think there's certification for relationship coaches.
Yeah.
But I'm a relationship enthusiast. Let me put it that way. I love the whole idea of love. I love the whole idea of relationship and marriage. I grew up reading lots of books on love, relationship, and that. I read books a lot, and I think just being this guy that loves the whole idea of love and expressing love, right? And so the nickname came about a long time ago because I used to write love poems and stuff like that. And today, that's how the picture of love came about. But like you said, my name is Ibukun, and I'd like to introduce myself as a child of God. I'm a child of God, and on the career side, I'm an advanced strategist, and I do a lot of other things. I'm a video editor, content creator once in a while. But yeah, and then we try to encourage people on social media, right? I try to say that try to help singles live purposefully, right? See the good side of being single while we are waiting for the marriage phase, the sweet part. Yeah.
So I think you believe in the happily ever after part, right?
Don't we all?
Well,
If one can dream, I mean,
well, that does not mean one live with the
Imagination,
dream.
right?
Well, I think that's the beauty of imagination.
the fun thing about this happily ever after is because when we watch all those cartoons and they lived happily after, they never tell us what happened after. So we are just taking them for what they see.
True.
And we all believe it's supposed to be happy. Well,
Or is it always?
it's always
Is it always that way?
Let's move
not
on.
go into that conversation,
Let's move on. Okay, so I have a little game for the men here. Yeah. So we would all actually, because you're saying the men here, I'm also going to be part of the game. I might be part of the game. Might. So the topic
That's
or
why the game will start with you as the host.
You take the lead.
No, I'm just gonna you guys know.
I mean, it's a game. It's fair game for
Ladies
everybody.
and gentlemen, ladies first, right?
Do you understand?
Okay.
The picture of love.
Why am I the only girl here? I should have somebody to fight for me. But anyways, but I guess I'm fighting for me in the comment section anyways. But let's move on. The game is, what are your relationship aches? So you guys are thinking, it looks like a 1 billion.
Ladies first.
No, if I'm going to go first, you guys are this
Just
is the
say
guys
the ball
in the
rolling. Says the ball rolling.
No. Let's children of God. Let's do this thing now. Okay. So what are your relationship aches?
Well, basically, for me, like I've said this before, it depends on the stage I am with the person. But basically, the one thing for me is attention. That is, if you're somebody that is not attentive to the person that you are in relationship with, for me, it's like it gives a red bulb. Like it's like why? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now I get there are times whereby we could be overwhelmed, a lot of things can happen. Do you understand? And you might miss a thing or two.
Sure.
Do you understand? That's where communication that comes in. But when it's in that's when that is how you are. Normally, you are not paying attention. You understand? You happen to be finding out after the fact, or somebody is saying, just like now, you are having a conversation and something. Don't you know that Peace likes this thing? And like, yeah. And you are the one in the relationship with Peace. And somebody that is outside saying that Peace likes this thing, I don't know how, maybe some people they don't just care, but for me, I'll feel somehow.
Yeah.
If somebody is well knowledgeable about the person I'm in a relationship with more than I. You understand? Unless the person by themselves choose not to reveal that. You know, there are some people that their lives are segmented. So there's what they give the people they're in relationship with, and there's a hair. So maybe you know, there are some people that when their guy or their girl is there, they don't do some kind of things. But when they're with their other friends, they feel that they can reveal. Do you understand? Except that's the situation, but generally, attentiveness is non-attentiveness is equal.
Okay, one. You guys are going to share three, by the way. So,
Okay. So I think for me, the first would be lack of accountability.
Okay.
That for me, I hate incompetence. I hate people that don't value excellence in what they do. And so for me, in terms of relationship, I see that lack of accountability is something that can easily put me off, right? Because I like to be with someone who is very accountable. Like you should be able to tell me A, and I know that what comes next is B. Not that you say A and then you are hearing Z. Like it doesn't make sense. I mean, there should be that consistency in your lifestyle, in the way you communicate, in the way you address issues and stuff. So when someone is unaccountable, there's really, for me, I feel like it's hard to trust someone that you can't depend on. Like you can't depend on them. You ask them to do something, or they tell you they are doing something, and then you already know that most likely they won't deliver on their words, or they tell you something and then you find out something else, and there's just not necessarily trust, but they just don't hold themselves to a high level of accountability. And for me, that's a big turn off.
I actually like that.
Because I demand a lot of accountability for my own self. So I think it's only right I should be able to demand it from whoever I want to be in a relationship with.
That's good. Mine is cleanliness.
Next to godliness.
I'm so sorry if you're not clean. The first thing I look at when I look at a person is their shoes. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. But I don't know. There's just something when I see someone's shoe dirty. When I see you dirty, and because of that, I take extra effort in making sure that I look presentable, except I'm having a very bad day. And I mean maybe staying in an area where I stay, where unfortunate things can just happen to you. But apart from that, I feel like not just even how you appear, your appearance, how you act. Like you will know someone that is clumsy and someone that is clean from.
Yeah.
It just shows. Please. Your odor, your
cleanliness is attractive, right?
Yes.
Like you can be in a place where it's all white, everything is
so clean.
There's the way it transfers peace. Exactly. Yeah, so I think I feel you.
It's one. My first one on the list. First one on the list. You could be intelligent. You could act smart. You could be smart. You could act smart. Because there's some people that are not smart but act smart. You could be intelligent. You could be smart. You could act smart. You could be everything. You could be rich. But if you're not clean, I don't think it can work. Okay, number 2.
Well, another thing again is adding to a bit to that accountability part. It's more about having a sense of responsibility in that relationship, because there are some times whereby people enter a relationship because it's cool, or because they feel there's some people have this thing about relationship is something they want to stunt on people. You understand?
Yes.
But they like to have that relationship when it is easy on autopilot. Now, there's a stage in relationship whereby you have to put in work and effort, in the sense that you are cultivating it, you are ensuring that okay, the things that you need to put in place are always consistently there. Because something that you are not. That's why I'm very big on attentiveness also, because if you are not attentive, because I believe that you can't know everything, but you can learn. You understand? So if you're in a relationship, for me, it's an avenue for learning. So that's another one. Then also, I think my third one is somebody that is not willing to grow in that relationship.
Okay, so you've said
the third one now. Yeah, okay. So what I mean by growing is that sometimes when you are in a relationship, there's that tendency to become complacent because you know the person. Sure. But you have found that over time, over the years, that people evolve. Who you are 10 years ago, if you look at yourself now, a lot has changed.
Sure.
You understand? There's a way you are going about things that you were not even thinking of 10 years ago.
Sure.
10 years from now, only God knows the kind of human being you will be. So a lot of time, because, now my guy, Sabian, do you understand? So there's that tendency to have a template. With this thing, I'll just drop it. Then you're now wondering why the thing is not working. It's because you're not paying attention.
You're not intentional.
So, and when you're not paying attention, you will not know when something has changed.
Sure.
So because you don't know when something has changed, you have not adjusted. And because of that, there will always be tension. Not because you are a bad person or the person is a bad, it's just that you are not paying attention to the person. Because it's very easy to pay attention to a baby. Oh, baby wants it. But because it's an adult or she's an adult, she can take care of herself. So when the person is communicating with you and you are not paying attention, sometimes they may not be saying anything, but you're just watching, okay, what's going on here. So when you see that, okay, this person has, because if you're paying attention, you will see that, okay, something has changed or something. You hear some people say, I didn't know, I don't know what happened, she just changed. No, she didn't just change, you just found out that she changed.
Because you're not paying attention.
So those are my three stuff.
Okay.
I think
seems very deep. I like
yes.
that.
For me, I think the second one would be this unwillingness to learn. And when I say stubbornness, but in the mental aspects, there are some people that you hear. There's some people that when you talk to them or when you relate to them, they have this this is how I do my thing. This is how we do it, where we come from. And no matter how much you try to let them know there's a place for learning and relearning, they keep on being adamant on, this is how I know things to be. Because I believe like in the journey of a relationship, especially towards marriage, there's going to be a lot of learning. There should be a lot of learning and learning process. Yeah. Like two people coming from different backgrounds, different areas of life, different mindsets, different orientation about life, to come together to make it work as one. It means from both parts, there has to be a lot of learning. Like how you do things in your house, how you do things in my house, they're not going to be the same way. And so when we come together, the both of them should be able to learn new things and to be able to work in that new path and not just be stubborn to what. And I think for me, it's always a big turn off when I have conversation with people and I'm like, and you're talking about getting to know each other and talking about how a relationship should be like. There should be that openness. You should know that, okay, this is how I like to do my things, but I'm willing to learn your way. This is how I know to, even when it comes to love, this is how I know to love, but also I'm willing to learn how to love you. And I think that thing is very important in every relationship. So you might find out talking about my hicks in terms of how people think, because for me, I feel like it's very important. So that's why I'm mentioning this part of people who can learn, they really can't grow.
Sure.
Yeah.
And if you can't grow in a relationship, it's the beginning of problems already, right? Because what happens when the person faces challenges that they have no understanding about? Are they willing to pick up the right? Are they willing to pick up new skills? Are they willing to pick up new understanding about things? And so sometimes you see, like the example you said, where people say, "Oh, the person has just changed." But sometimes it's because of one party is unwilling to grow, is unwilling to learn a new way to do things, and just stuck up with this is how I know to do my things, I know how to love, this is how I know how to, and then they're not listening to the other person, and then bringing up like new ways for the two of them to actually go about doing things. And so I think that's the second one for me. And you want to go to the third one? I feel like I'm talking about mental things. I'm trying to look at the physical side of things.
Sorry, before you go to the third one, about learning, is there a possibility whereby there are some people, maybe they are coming from a previous relationship, so there are things that they were used to in that relationship. So now there's that tendency for the guy or the lady to bring those things.
Ideologies.
Do you understand? So they can't fathom. Probably, maybe they were in a very wonderful relationship, but some things didn't, work out. Do you understand? It happens. Do you understand? But there's that, there are some people that, if they are not careful, they tend to bring it into this one. Meanwhile, you are in an entirely different relationship, but you are trying to say, this is how I was. Do you understand?
Exactly.
Can you speak on that?
Yeah, because even without getting into relationship, even just talking stages. I used to say something. I talked to people that people need to heal from talking stages. People need to heal from the trauma of talking stages.
Yeah, sure.
People don't understand these things. I don't know. I'm looking to the camera. Heal from your talking stage, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't understand how much you've picked up in that 1-2 weeks of conversation with someone you wanted to do life with. You probably your mindset has shifted towards this new person you're talking with, and then all of a sudden it ends, and you do not realize that you are holding on to a hurt, or you're holding on to a there's a trauma somewhere already that's been registered in your mind, and then you meet someone new, and instead of you to be able to go in with a positive mind, because of the last talking stage you are coming from, like I said, you are trying to bring it into the person. You see, people are talking and talking to someone. I'm like, I don't trust easily. Where is that coming from?
You fed yourself with some kind of things.
You've had failed talking stages, and then when somebody is even coming with a genuine mindset, you don't know when you are already using your past experience to actually react to that new person.
Yes.
And so, like you say, it's important to unlearn when you're coming out from a relationship.
Yeah.
You know that, okay, everybody's not going to be the same. The way you guys maybe have resolve your conflict, the way maybe you guys talk. Some people you could be in a relationship with someone who chats a lot. And all of a sudden you're meeting someone who probably walks a long period during the day, and at night it's more easy for the person to talk on phone. Someone who has spent the whole day on the system typing, talk,
does not want to
type again and talk. He wants to just be on call and just talk. You understand? And these are little things that we don't pay attention to. Just realize that this person is difficult. I'm trying to get close to this person.
Why the person not getting? Do you understand? Meanwhile, you have not understood that you are in a different space.
Exactly.
You're even talking to a different person. I feel like people need to understand that we are not the same. The way I want something is different from you want something, is different from you want something. And if I'm to be in a relationship with anybody, because I feel like with any person, I need to understand that I'm not trying to bring just how I do things to this person. I have to also learn how this person does this thing. And this is why eating from talking stage is actually it should be a thing. Because people speak about eating from a committed relationship that you've been into already. But forget that there's sometimes when you're talking to somebody, some people be in talking stages for like 6 months.
True.
Like you've been in constant communication with this person for like 6 months. You
had so many thoughts about the relationship.
Exactly.
You've dreamt about it. You imagine so many things.
You are committed to this. In fact, you guys did not just pronounce relationship, but you guys were in a relationship, but you guys did not just target the relationship with you. Yeah, you guys were already in it because you were committed. You had to speak to this person when you wake up. A lot of things were going on, like at the background. In fact, some of you even it's graduates to having physical dates. Because you have spent time with this person, then all of a sudden something happens, and let's say, so for some people it could be a situation where then you now ask God, and God says, "Nah, this is not the person," and it can be so heartbreaking because you've already planned the whole life with this person. Then all of a sudden, you feel like you can just jump to the next one. No, you need some time to literally heal. It should be a thing.
Yeah.
I think for me, the second one for me, because when you said you more okay, I address people first mentally.
Yeah.
One of my first, people always have these lists.
Mm.
The physical appearance is not for the top of my list.
Yeah.
The financial stability is not the first on my list.
Really?
It's the
This stupid
mentality.
economy? Let it be on top of the list.
No, I'm not saying it's not. I get you. But like number one on my list is how you think.
True.
Because how you think is who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like many people do not know that. Some people do not. I don't know how to put it. I don't know how to buttress this point. I don't know how to break it down. But people need to understand there is power in the mind.
Yeah.
The mind. To see a poor man, it's not about what he has in his account, but how he thinks. Poverty is more of a mentality than the physical material stability.
Mm.
It's about what is in your head.
Yeah.
And this is why my dad says something. He says, if you rob a rich man, it doesn't make him poor.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop being rich, because what made him rich started from the brain, not the money he had. So the first thing I look out for is how you think. And how you think would show in how you behave, how you speak, what you do, what you like. There are many people that just like fun and games. Not because I'm not saying it's bad. I feel like it's a nice thing. Play games to have fun.
Mm.
But if that's the only thing you think about, it explains who you are. I think it explains what you think of.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why you will not see most times they always say that many rich people just like to have meetings. They like to read books. But it's because they know the power of the mind. They know the power of information. They know the power of knowledge. So my second ick is somebody that is not willing to grow. I feel like somebody has said here, not willing to grow, not willing to learn. Someone that is comfortable being just there.
Mm.
Some of them are not even mediocre. Some people are just comfortable just being themselves. I just like doing what I'm doing. I just like being me. You're so comfortable in what you do that you don't want to unravel the things in front of you. You don't want to study. You don't want to go deep into getting knowledge. As expensive as knowledge can be, because I won't say knowledge is not cheap. Knowledge is very expensive. Reading, it takes your time. Listening to podcasts, reasonable podcasts. Reasonable ones, I beg. It takes your time. It takes intentionality. So I feel getting knowledge is expensive. As expensive as it can be, it reveals a lot about you. It affects you in great ways that you don't know about.
It's not as expensive as ignorance.
True. That's a word. That's a word. Lack of knowledge is not. No, sorry. Knowledge is not as expensive, but not as expensive as ignorance. Ignorance is very, very expensive. It will cost a lot.
Like, sometimes when I see people go into relationships with let's just vibe. I see it as ignorance. Like,
let's see how it goes.
Let's just see how it goes. This whole thing of like, I was checking the comments of a post where Man of God was talking about the fact that love is a choice and stuff. And people were so strongly in the comment section saying, no, love is not a choice. You can just fall in love and you don't just decide how you are. And I'm like,
you just be there.
This is where the problem is. Like this is where the problem is. You don't have standards. You feel like you could just walk on the streets, meet someone and just fall in love. And because you're affected to maybe a physical appearance or something, just fall in love and then you just go all out for that person, even whether the person has any alignment with your future goals, your future plans, or anything. You just want, I feel. I'm feeling.
Do you think this kind of thinking is fueled by how we are? A lot of the things that we call fairy tales and how we perceive what love is.
Mm-hmm.
For example, there was a finding some people made, and if you are very observant, all this, when you say the top most romantic films that people say is a romantic, people were crying in the film. One of the major subplot of it is infidelity.
The Titanic.
Titanic.
I watched the Titanic again. No DSTV knows how to repeat.
Yeah.
Now I was watching the Titanic again and I was like, she's actually cheating. Like, let's be honest here, she's cheating on her fiance already, right?
Yes.
And that's what we are portraying as love and true love, and she's cheating. Like, can't we all see this? Like, I feel like screaming, like, why are we putting this
remove
movie
this
in?
girl from your eyes.
How we've ingrained this kind of thing in our mindset, in our subconscious, as and we have seen it as true love. We're calling it true love. We're calling it genuine love. But she's actually cheating for kind of that.
It's just like Cinderella. What made him fall in love with her?
He just saw her.
Her appearance. And this is where many people invest more in their appearance than here.
What's up there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I talk about purpose.
I think for me, the fact I like to speak from me. God that's my identity, right? And there's a reason why we are created. Like there's a reason why there's something for us to do beyond ourselves. Like come to think about it, it makes no sense for us to come to be born, just go through life and just fade like that after 100 years. We have money, and then just for yourself, and then you do good, you have a good life, you enjoy life, and then you go away again, and then you ask yourself, what was then the purpose of your journey being on earth? So most times, purpose is not just about maybe a career. It's really about identifying that major area of influence to which you can transform your own generation. Like making impact beyond yourself. And most times God gives you for. I believe that purpose is God. You have to have a solid relationship with God to be able to understand what you meant to do in life, like what you meant to achieve. It may not just so why sometimes like I said, it's not just about money or job. Is that most times goes beyond the regular things we do. In the sense that most times it could be that God might want you to be able to touch someone through your own journey, like make sure you play a major role in someone else becoming or doing something great, right? Just to think about some of the great people in life. Think about one or two places like that influence their decision to do things they've done. Like even when you think about even like come to our country, like some of the great leaders we've had, some of spiritually in every area, right? And you think about some will tell you maybe they had a mentor, they had a quality mentor, they had someone who guided them on their journey to spirituality, to gain knowledge. And then those persons, they play the key role in changing or transforming your generation, right? You look at men who have shaped their world, right? Men who have invented great things, right? You think about the fact that sometimes this inventors, some of the people with these great ideas, they necessarily might not have made money and all, but they've done things that have gone beyond them. Their name speaks for them. They've long after they've gone. And so sometimes we don't just want to limit purpose in life to keep on. Because at the end of the day, if you make money and it's of no importance beyond your own small, beyond yourself, then it's really might not mean too much. And so the purpose is to your immediate family. It doesn't have to necessarily mean you are doing something to the whole world. It could be in your immediate family. You're meant to raise children, or you're meant to raise children that will not just be a negative influence in society. I think that's even sometimes a good. That the fact that you can raise a generation, children, grandchildren that won't be a negative influence in society.
It won't be a problem.
It will be a problem. Like it's something.
No, it's
the world we are right now.
We need
it's something.
We need parents like that.
So we don't just want people that they come to it, they give birth to children without any purpose for. They don't even have a purpose, and children don't have any purpose, and they just keep adding to the moral decadence and the whole problem we already have in the world. That is the problem in this world is we have not solved this finish, and then you keep people adding more to it, no direction, no plan. I think that's just for me the whole, in summary, just ideology about being generalistic actually. If I was to talk about purpose, I'll go into spirituality, but for the whole of context of this discussion we're having, I'm just trying to put it in that general
Yes.
yeah.
I think also it's still, I think to a certain extent it boils down to values. Because when I don't know how many of us have attended a burial ceremony, when they are having that service of songs, they gather family members. I don't know whether you pay attention to what people say about somebody that they are burying. If you notice, they don't mention how many cars the person had, how fashionable the person was, whether the person owned businesses. Majority of the time, you hear the impact of that person in their life. Or how this man, when I had nothing, this man helped me, or when this thing was the one that was always doing this. So they're always speaking of the influence and the impact that they had in their life. You understand? Because at the end of the day, that's what people remember you for. Because anybody can be rich.
Anybody can be.
If you do what you need to do, it's a matter of time you will get there.
Yeah.
But you see, affecting somebody positively is a conscious thing you have to do every day, because you interact with people on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So, because speaking to how our society is, the thing about purpose, because sometimes when we hear the word purpose, there's a way we brothers and sisters in Christ. There's a way we used to carry this, oh Lord, I must fulfill purpose, purpose. And at the end of the day, speaking from a Christian sphere, purpose is basically obeying Jesus' commands. Because as far as you are example, when you are following him and doing what he has commanded you, you are already fulfilling purpose as a follower of Christ. Because I spoke about values earlier. A family whereby, they are just rich, they have money. Sometimes some people, because they want their mind, their purpose was to make money in their head. So they do everything, they now make the money. All of a sudden, what next? So now they are now looking, so you now see people opening charity, opening all these things. Why? Because they now feel, now, I'm supposed to, do you understand? Because now they are now looking for outlets to point to throw this money away. Because they now realize that, yes, I have the money, I'm cool, I'm taking care of myself, my family is good, but I feel I need to do more. Do you understand? So it now boils down to values, because what did that parent teaches his child, his son or his daughter? Because the child is already in wealth already, so it's not as if the child is going to hustle. So what will the child carry on as the father's legacy beyond the wealth? Do you understand? So when the child learns compassion, learns mutual respect, learn how to take care of the less privileged, because this is what my father did, this is what my father taught us. So it is something that is very remarkable in passing to the next generation. Say, yes, so we are a very wealthy family, but in this family, these are the things that we walk by. We believe in mutual respect, we believe in this, we believe in that. So children grow up with that sense of responsibility, knowing that, yes, in our family, this is how we do things. So, and it even drives how they treat their finances, because now they know that, no matter what money I'm making, there is a portion that goes for this purpose.
So in one of the things I've learned from what you guys have said right now, one of the key things is purpose is not necessarily a thing. It's not necessarily an occupation. It's more like a lifestyle. We've heard people say living purposefully. So it's beyond just that thing. It's beyond just that occupation. It's more about influencing not just yourself, but the people around you. So it's, what are you doing in your day-to-day activities? Or how are you living your life? Who are you influencing? And this would make people actually make good decisions. Because if people can have that mindset of not just having money and just throwing money on your face to seem like they're living purposefully, but the thing they do to you can impact your life because it is purposeful, they would rethink the decisions they make in their day-to-day life.
That would bring me back to some of the relationships that we're talking about. That's why if you imagine people living with a purpose mindset, it's easier to choose quality partners when you have the right purpose mindset. Like it's easy for you to choose someone good for you when you know where you are going to.
Yes.
So when you have, and that's what I try to do with my platform, like when you have single people living with a purpose, right? When we have a lot of single people, it's easy when you meet someone that is also like, you feel like you can do life together. It's easy when you guys meet to have a lasting and beautiful relationship.
Yeah.
Because most time when people complain about relationship issues and problems, when you trace, it may look on the outside, it may just look, maybe one person is rude, one person doesn't know how to talk, one person maybe is not kind, and then you're just addressing this. You're just most times addressing the symptoms of the main problem. When you take it back, you find out it's a fundamental problem with either the way the person grew up, the way the ideology person have fed, and you realize that because there's no lack of identity, no lack of purpose in either the way how the person was growing, then the person has picked up wrong mindset, wrong vision. But imagine someone who is growing up, like he said, where the parents are they are feeding that it's not just about growing up to go to school and make money. How are you living your daily lifestyle? Like you said, what are our values? So imagine people with the right values, having the right daily lifestyle, and how they are impacting people, and they understand what they are meant to do in life. By the time they meet someone else, they know what they are looking for.
Exactly.
They don't end up with the wrong set of people. Because you find out that people, high caliber people, they are ruthless with their decisions. Some of the great people, like Elon Musk, and the way he was very brutal when he took over Twitter, firing people, hiring people, and it was very brutal because you can't get to that level of excellence without being brutal, without being ruthless with your decisions. People with purpose, values, you can see them say they have high standards. They have a in choosing a partner. It's not high standards. It's because they understand where they are going to. Someone who knows that, for example, he has a purpose towards achieving something, maybe a global vision or something, and you are coming with a Ikeja mindset. And someone is thinking Africa and beyond, someone is thinking Asia, and you are only thinking Lagos. And then you people join together into a relationship. It's two things will happen. It's either the Lagos mindset brings down the global mindset down to Lagos, and when they come down, it's not just Lagos, they will go back, they will go lower than that.
They will go to Aito.
or the one up knows how to draw the person. Well, we all know that it's easier to draw someone down from a ladder than to climb up.
Except the person that they're trying to pull up is
willing to
learn. Yes, it's willing to grow. That's a place of growing. That's a place of learning. And I feel like this life will be very easy if we can teach people beyond just social studies, economics, agree
in the classroom.
Yes. I feel like life would be better. Life would be easier. We'll see people with good mindset, people making good decisions, people leading right. Because one of our problem, not just as a country, but as people of this generation, people in this world, one of our problem is the fact that the people leading did not have the right mindset to lead, do not know how to lead, do not know how. So people want to lead right, but don't know how to lead right. So the problem is information or the knowledge they have cannot sustain or push people to where they expect people to be. And
have you gone to TikTok recently? Sometimes just I'm not really I don't really spend time, but sometimes you just go to TikTok and then you just wonder, like, if you have someone who is scrolling through this every day, the kind of mindset they will have, you can't really expect something good from, because they are spending time. Just go around at 8, 9 p.m. Go live on TikTok, right? Nigerian side of TikTok, and see what goes on the live, and you'll be like, really? Like this is like, and because that's why it's feeding this. It's in this part of where they have this mindset of I just want to blow. They don't want to put in the work. They don't want to put in the effort. They are seeing people on social media just living a fake lifestyle, and everybody just feel like I just want to do something crazy so I can blow on social media and get the money that I'm seeing those people getting, and then that's why people are doing crazy things. And so, like you said, the information right now out there is not good enough to make people go. You have to be very intentional. What you feel yourself in, right?
Yes.
Like sometimes you have to see some content and just be like, no. Thank God social media platforms, they will let you know, oh, not interested or interested. Like, to be able to see a content and say you are not interested in following, in listening to what this person says. But sometimes I think about it that this year, thankfully, we've had a positive in terms of marriage. I think in the Christian side of things, we've had a positive year. And you think about the fact that it's social media that's putting this information out there. When for popular Christians this year got married, we've seen, and it seems that everybody's saying singles this year have suffered. But the positive side to it. We've suffered, but do you know that there's a lot of people on this recently concluded Hallelujah challenge that a lot of people have been talking about, and we see more singles being open about what they want. Like you see a lot of singles now saying in this Hallelujah challenge stuff that by this time next year I want to get married, because there was a lot of good PR, let me say that, for Christian marriages this year.
Yes.
And so now people are more open to say, I want this kind of marriage. That's a good way that's a good level of information that was spread in this year. And so you see how we can shape our mindset just within it. Last year there was kind of like, or some years back, there's a kind of vibe when people are talking too much on social media about being married. They're like, why are you desperate? Why are you acting desperate? Now all of a sudden, it seems not to be a whole desperate thing to talk about. I want to get married next year.
Yeah.
Because why? There was a lot of good information about Christian marriages this year.
Yeah. Apart from that, the way social media operates, it has a way of fun, because when we're growing up, when there was no social media, we learned majorly from the few sources we get from our parents, maybe on TV, probably some of us that read newspaper, some of us that read magazines, comics, encyclopedias. Do you understand? But majority of the information most people get during this period is largely on the internet. And if you are paying attention to social media, you will notice that there's a lot of, you mentioned something a few years ago. There was a lot of negativity towards the idea of marriage, and the reason because there were stuff going on in marriages.
Do you understand?
Then there has not been a shift whereby, because then you say no, I'll wait my time. And do those things that they seem to be, in quotes, godly advice. They tell you that, no, your sister, why are you in a hurry? Don't you see? They even hear a statement that anybody that is rushing to go in, rushing. That's
like a code there.
So people are like, no, I don't want to rush in. I want to take my time. I did it. So it was a thing. Now,
it's like
everybody now has some level of positive disposition. They have this positive disposition. Okay, it's not that bad. Yes, sir. Only God knows what happened in the next 3 years. So you can see that if you notice, and the funny thing about the thing is that we are making decisions, or we are being influenced based on what we are seeing as imagery, as content. Do you understand? So the generation that we are in is being moved and directed based on what is curated on social media.
And sorry for cutting you, and I feel this is how our minds are shaped. What you spend time feeding on constantly shaping you to who you are. So if you spend time listening to the right things on social media will be good for you. But if you spend time listening to stupid things on social media will be bad for you. So everything has a positive and a negative side of life. Movies, social media, news. News especially. I can remember there was a stage in my life I had to follow some particular people because of the type of news they were sharing. It's very, very nice to be knowledgeable about some things, but I feel like if they start shaping your mind to some extent, things that you would not appreciate normally, I feel like you should stop listening to those type of things. So like what we're saying, I like what you're saying also about the main reason why people are tuning now to accepting marriage is because of their mindset is changing based on the information that is set out there. So if you can constantly listen to the right things,
that's why you see things that when they are right some women, if you want to have a happy marriage, make sure that your friends are not divorced.
Yes.
Because the scripture says that he that walks with the wise, he will be wise. He that walks with the foolish. Normally, the way people think, they say it will be. No, it is foolishness to walk with the foolish.
Yes.
That's the reason. He said you will suffer what? Destruction. So you have to curate the kind of life you want is to a certain extent is informed by. So when you have friends that are either having relationship issue, they are disrespecting their husband, they are beating their wife, they are doing all those things, and you are the only good person there.
My
Yeah.
dear,
Check
it's a matter of
again.
time.
Check again.
No, check again. Sorry, there is this quote that is something I usually quote from our Apostle Joshua Salman. He says, if there are 5 foolish people, say check again. No, you are 6. You did not just know about
Because
it.
it's very easy for us to separate and say that out of my friends, I'm the one that is responsible.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is that as you spend time in certain environments, it's a subliminal thing. You don't know it's happening, because eventually, let's say for example, among maybe you have like 3 friends, and all of them they'll come and saying some kind of funny things about their husband. Their husband is there. Then you will not know, because it's not like an acceptable thing in this crew. You will not know when you start opening your mouth and say, my husband self is like this. Do you understand? Now all of you are encouraging yourself because it's we. Do you understand? Eventually, a time will come whereby you start hearing things like, after all, see, and when they are giving advice, they say, see, don't take this. You know, the people that say, your husband does, or your wife does this, don't do this, don't do that. Do you understand? So you will not know, maybe before you used to be calm, you don't know one day, you don't know when all of a sudden you are raising your voice in the house.
At your partner, because of the things you fed yourself.
Do you understand? These are things that normally you would have said, no, let us do that. But because, what one of your friends said, or this one now said, do you understand? Because if you want a good marriage, it makes sense to be around people who have good marriages, so that it will be easy, because when they are advising you, when they are leading along the line, because they want, do you understand? People who don't care about their relationships, there's a way they talk. Do you understand?
True.
It's just like asking for fitness advice from somebody who has never gone to the gym.
My brother.
Do you understand?
Okay.
Or you're asking for medical advice from somebody who has no idea, or who is not a practitioner. Because there's somebody went to school to learn, and you are a medical practitioner. A practitioner is somebody that practices it, not just giving. Do you understand? So people who are not practicing good relationships, good marriages, good things, when you are getting advice from them, because people tend to advise based on what the framework that they are working with. So they have a lot of negative framework. So and they'll tell you that they are doing it in your bed. And some people, there's even a phrase that they say that the way to hell is filled with good intentions. So there are a lot of good intentions, but the problem is that those things that are giving you good intentions can lead you to destruction. And you're not even aware.
And it can also be related to foolish things as well.
Yeah, exactly.
The way to foolish things is not necessarily, it doesn't appear as a foolish thing. And that's the thing about wisdom as well. You have to be discerning enough to know the good in everything. Because if you're not discerning enough, and this is why I'm using the word discernment, if you're not discerning enough, you would actually lead yourself to destruction. And we said initially we're going to be talking about friendship and everything. And this is what I want us to understand, that the decision you make, the people you put in your life, the decision you make by being around some certain kind of people would influence how your life would be, whether you like it or not. Some people say that for you to be a rich man, you have to first want to be friends with a rich man. That's the first step to becoming rich. Feeding yourself, because when you start talking to somebody that is rich, you start unknowingly, unconsciously and consciously thinking rich. And when you can start thinking rich, you will start doing rich things. So you will have to understand that your friends play a big role in your life. So those gossip partners that you're having are doing more bad in your life. They are destroying your life than just giving you good gists.
Yeah. It's not every gist you should listen
It's
to.
not for every joke you should accept.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like I would advise people to read the book of Ephesians again, especially chapter 3 to chapter 6. Read it, meditate on it, and you understand what Paul was trying to tell the church in Ephesus. It's not everything you accept. It's not everything you interact with. It's not every person, not every set of people you stay with, people can either bring you up or take you down. So you have to choose your friends wisely. You have to choose your environment wisely. This is why some people will move from one local area to a rich area, not because they want to act rich. Sometimes it's because of how they want to start thinking. Because your environment shapes your mind. And if your mind is not shaping properly, you would not be a proper person. That's a deep word. I feel like I'm not saying that you're not proper, but like you get the word. There's a different orientation.
And also again, some of you ask yourself this question: those relationship issues you are having in your relationships, where is the source of it? Because sometimes the reason you are having issue with your wife or your husband is not necessarily her. You are coming from a circle of influence. All of a sudden, your wife is looking strange to you. All of a sudden, she's no more in. I don't know what I say. All of a sudden, your husband is no more. The husband that you used to pray, oh, God bless you. This now, all of a sudden, maybe for example, now maybe they were having conversations with their friends, and someone say, "My husband bought me car." She will not tell you that she was the one that bought it, but she wants to help her husband. And if you now can see your husband is not doing anything, then all of a sudden you start getting angry with your husband, or you start getting annoyed with your wife because of new information that has entered. So sometimes you have to consciously protect yourself, protect your mind, because you will not know some of the issues some couples are having. It's not because because you love this person, you chose this person, you made vows with this person, you did everything with this person. Now all of a sudden there's an issue with the person.
You need to check what you're feeding on.
Check what you are consuming.
Check what you're consuming. I want to just, because these are our guests, I want to ask one last questions. One thing you tell people out there, not just singles, but people, friends, people that aim to want to be in invited relationship, because I feel like we've spoken about good relationship. Many people desire it, but they do not know how to have it. So for your closing remark, can you just give like a word or 2 sentences on how people can be in a good relationship?
Okay, thank you. I think we've said a bit of it in this and it's for me, it's feeding yourself with the right knowledge. For you to be in that relationship that you so desire, you also have to ensure that you are the right fit. It's one thing to fantasize and dream about that special, beautiful relationship, but you yourself have to be a beautiful person at heart. And one way you can be that beautiful person at heart is to invest in the right knowledge. Read books. Never be too tired of reading books. Listen to the right messages. I just to quickly chip this in. I when I started editing videos for my page, for my content, I never realized how much these videos were shaping my life, right? I never realized how much these videos were giving me the right mindset on how to look for it. But like, I mean, as I kept on listening to spending hours editing these messages on relationship, and I realized it was helping me view life differently. I realized in the way I was communicating with people, I realized I was picking up on signals I never paid attention to before. I realized I knew when I meet someone who is good, I could easily tell. The person doesn't need to say too much, just a few words, and I could pick that this is a good person. I could pick that this is someone maybe that has some issues that need to be worked on. And so never get tired of learning and unlearning and relearning. Like feed yourself, identify people that you know have with evidence, they've had solid relationship, had solid marriage. Feed yourself with the things these people talk about, not necessarily mirror your life after them, but feed yourself with information, messages, books from top people, top relationship expert, men of God, people who have their marriage is enough evidence for you to follow. And the more you constantly feed yourself with these things, you realize that you're changing gradually. It doesn't have to be a one-day thing, but just constantly putting in that effort to read these books and to listen to these messages and to grow, study the Bible, feed yourself with the Word of God. Because I'm a Christian, so I have to give that advice. And you realize that it's easy for you to identify the right person for you, and it's also easy for you to become that person that will be the right fit in that beautiful relationship you're looking for.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Wale. Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you so much.
aka Picture of Love.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for listening up to this point. You guys are the real MGs. Is it MGs or OGs? You are the real OGs. Wait, what did I say? MGs. You're gonna say it again. Thank you so much, guys, for joining or for listening, for staying tuned to this moment. These are the real OGs. I love you so much. We love you so much. And we pray that you don't just listen to this word. There's something that the book of James says, that may we not just be hearers of the word, but doers of the word. So don't just listen to this, send this to your friend and say, hey, see what I was telling you about. But actually practice it.
Yeah.
Because the only way you can see changes is when you start practicing the things you hear. Good things you hear, because I said good changes. So thank you so much. I love you all. Bye, guys.
Bye.